Hey, what's up everybody? This is my whipping session this last weekend. I'm on the cliff so you can see how cloudy it is, and you can't tell from this picture, but it's pretty rough. And I guess another way to tell is I'm not diving, so it's pretty rough. Um, the waves are kind of crashing. You can see some little white water up right at the edge of the rock, but it's really a lot rougher than it looks. It's about maybe 10 feet down to the water from where I'm standing. So I'm doing a slow retrieve, trying to drag the bottom, which is super risky when it's rough because the waves kind of push your leader and lead into the coral and it gets stuck. So I'm using a 3/4 ounce egg lead with a leader, which is about the length of my pole. The pole is 8.5 feet. So I had one bite there, and what I'm using for bait is I'm using Ika or cuttlefish strips. My friend who's fishing with me on this day, the Papillo man, he did a lot better than me, and but he likes to use curly tails. So I hook up right here. It's nothing really big. You can see it's pulling down here, and the fish are tending to bite really close to the edge of the rocks. And when I go diving here, that's kind of like what I see is, you know, the fish, you know, they like the structure. So I'm on here, I can see color, and I'm trying to lift it up, and it's a humu, a triggerfish, and this is kind of an interesting one. I don't catch this that often. I'll bring it here to show you. This is the gray triggerfish, and it has a little blue eye or a blue eyelid. I don't know if you can see it right there. That's how I got hooked up. He's saying hello. So I let that go. I've never eaten one of those, but I'm sure they taste like the other one, but they tend to be skinnier. The humu LA, the black triggerfish, is a fatter one, and if it was one of those, I would have kept it and ate it. So it was a super slow afternoon for me. Again, my friend the Papillo man, he went down the coast, and he actually caught a couple nice munu. I wish I caught that, or I wish he was close to me so we could have got that on video, but we don't have any video of this. I was nowhere near as lucky. In fact, of the 3 fish that I caught that are on this clip, there were no keepers, but it was still a great day. You can see how overcast it is, so it was pretty cool, but the wind wasn't blowing, so it was a pretty pleasant evening of fishing. We're fishing close to sunset. The sunset over here right now in March, you know, it sets right around 6:45. I would say it's about 5:45, 6 o'clock right now. Again, I get another small bite right close to the edge, and it's a Hinolea, which is a wrasse. Tend to catch a lot of these when it's when I'm using the Ika on and doing slow retrieves. So you can see this guy here, pretty nicely colored. It'd be pretty cool in an aquarium. Pretty common to catch those, especially the fishing the way I'm fishing. So here's another cast, and I'm on this side, and you can see there's some people have cemented in pole holders into the lava rock. I am not a big fan of people doing that. I think it's disrespectful. You know, it mars the environment, but it is what it is. I mean, people drag the concrete all the way out to the fishing grounds and put it in. I wish they wouldn't do it, but again, it is what it is. So again, I'm doing a slow retrieve, and I found this whole area from left to right, and I went to the other side of this point. I didn't catch anything, and when I throw it out, the water is pretty deep here. So once I throw it out and the lead hits the water, I usually count to 3 or 4 to let the lead drop and then start reeling it in. So I try a couple different methods, not just only slow retrieve. I do a fast retrieve right here. I think I got a hit, but it's stuck. So when it gets stuck, I loosen the drag and pull out line so the fish doesn't feel any tension, so they start swimming off. And once I feel it move, I try to pull it back out, but again it moved and it darted right back in the rock. So you can see me with my left hand pulling out some line. So one of the drawbacks is in a lot of cases when I do this when it's rough, well, there you can see a wave break. So it's pretty big since I'm about 10 feet up. The line gets stuck, so I try to break it, and luckily for me, the fish came out. So I started reeling it in, fighting it. So I'm thinking that in these cases, it's usually like either a Moano or another Hinolea that gets wrapped up in the rock. But when I look down, I can see the color, and it is not. It's something different. It's one fish that I really like to catch, but because it's super delicious, but this guy's too small. This is called a po'opa'a, or a stocky hawkfish. If it was bigger, I would have definitely kept it. It's a fairly funny looking fish. It has pretty sharp spines, but it is super delicious. The meat is almost transparent. So here it is. Oh, dropped it. But I'm gonna let this guy go. He's too small. Didn't catch anything, but there he is for you to look at. That's the po'opa'a, the stocky hawkfish. That was my fishing session this weekend. 3 fish, no keepers, but it was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, and aloha.